Man, these Home Alone premises never get old, do they? Let's review Wrath of Becky. Wrath of Becky stars Lulu Wilson, Sean William Scott, Courtney Gaines, and is directed by Matt Angel and Suzanne Coote. What's up, guys? Remember a couple years ago when I reviewed Becky, which was, like I said in the intro, a Home Alone style movie with a prepubescent young girl, pretty much a child. I think she's supposed to be like 12 or something like that. Lulu Wilson played her. And it was a really, really fun movie. But one thing that was interesting about that movie too was the casting of someone who usually plays a good guy, even like a comedic type role, Kevin James, and he was pretty damn effective as the villain. So they're kind of going with the same routine here by casting Sean William Scott as the villain in this, which I think Sean William Scott recently played a villain a couple years ago, and I reviewed it. I can't remember the name, but I think it was a vampire movie. But yeah, I like seeing Sean William Scott in these types of roles. Also, as of the day that I'm reviewing this, it's probably going to be like 3 weeks before I can actually put it out because of the embargo. Okay, I got this screener about a month early, and I just watched it the other night. So know that going into this, but I will say right now, Becky is doing just fine. This movie is just as strong, if not stronger, than the first movie. I really enjoyed it. And it'll be a spoiler-free review. But, you know, with this type of premise, in a character like this that you love, you could easily keep going with this, you know, because, you know, Lulu Wilson is very young. She's just going to get older and older and older. And I like the idea of her continuing this character because she is irresistible. She is fun. She's very talented. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, let's give you a quick plot synopsis to kick it off. This is 2 years after the events of the first movie. She has been living in foster home after foster home because if you've seen the first movie, her parents are both dead. Her dad died in that movie, and her mother died of cancer. And so now, you know, she is living, I guess, illegally with this older lady who has been really good to her and is kind of protecting her. And you have these really bad douchebags that end up showing up, and a situation arises where I guess like 3 of the younger members of this group, they are hotheads, and they get into this kind of like quarrel with Becky, you know, and Becky's not having it. She is a smartass and a half, and they want a little bit of revenge, and one thing leads to another, and then it becomes deadly and fun. And Sean William Scott is kind of the leader. It's one of those situations where, you know, you have like this group of baddies and the leader is miles and miles above the other members in terms of like intelligence. He's like a war veteran, you know. I think he's been to like Afghanistan, places like that. So this guy, he's not to be messed with, right? And the other ones are like way down the totem pole. And Becky can just have fun with those guys. First thing out the gate, Lulu Wilson is a revelation. She is freaking so awesome in this role. You can tell that she is having a blast. She's just really sassy, but she's also conniving, and she seems like she's 2 steps ahead of everything that's going on. And really, she's like this far away from not having a heart whatsoever in terms of the baddies. She has no problem with killing them. But, you know, this is a Home Alone type movie. So it's all about the booby traps and, you know, watching these characters end up getting stuck in these horrible situations, knowing it's going to happen. And, you know, that part of the fun is just us waiting for it to happen. And of course, the payoff. How great is the payoff in this movie? I'd say it does have a lot of great payoff. I don't think, you know, every scene's going to blow your socks off, but it's still very fun and very effective. And I will say, without giving anything away, there was one scene, it's kind of like a bait and switch, you know, like it messes with your emotions and you feel one way, and then the rug is pulled out and you are laughing your ass off, you know, and the payoff is just so great. And when you guys see this movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And also, it's cool to see Courtney Gaines in this, you know, Outlander. I can't remember his name. Is it Isaac or Malachi? I think it's Malachi from Children of the Corn. It's always fun watching him show up in anything. He was in Rob Zombie's Halloween. But man, he can play a douchebag asshole to perfection. And I do really like Sean William Scott's take on this character, because when you're playing a bad guy, there's really like so many different ways you can play it. You can get loud and, you know, bombastic and crazy, kind of like the bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Or you can be just more subdued and calm and collected. And usually those are the bad guys that I tend to like more, you know, kind of like Tom Cruise in Collateral. And I think maybe that's what he's channeling a little bit in this role. And he's never, you know, like a comic relief or anything like that. This, you know, this villain, he plays it serious the entire way. So I think that adds some weight to the character. As far as like him being as good as Kevin James, I'd say they're both pretty equal. But you know what? This movie knows exactly what it is. It is so freaking fun, and you're just having a freaking blast with it by the end of the movie. There are some surprises in the final act, which are nice. A warning here though, okay? And how do I put this? In today's climate, where people do get offended, depending on which side of the ropes you're on, you know, in terms of movies, I'm gonna call it right now. There's gonna be some people that are not gonna like this movie because they're gonna be offended by certain things in the movie. All right, I'll just say that. I'm not gonna go any further. I don't want to get any like arguments going with you guys, but it didn't bother me one bit. And as a matter of fact, I loved how this movie dealt with the subject matter. You know, if anything, it was a lesson to me that you can really touch on any subject in a movie. You even in like today's political climate. And as long as it's written well, and as long as it's not too on the nose, you know, and it's just lighthearted fun, then it can still work. And I found that so fun and refreshing. Nothing felt like it was forced down my throat, okay? You know where I'm going with this. That's all I'm going to say. If anything, I can compare it to Sick from earlier this year, which dealt with, you know, I don't think I can even say this in YouTube language. I'll just say the C word. All right, it dealt with that, but it did it in such a fun and playful way, and it didn't really alienate any side of the argument. And I think this movie does that as well. So definitely giving this a purchase worthy for sure. So much fun. It's short, it's quick, and I loved the ending of this movie too. It was really cool. So definitely looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this movie. I hate that I can't put this out for like another 3 weeks, but let me know your thoughts on Wrath of Becky when it comes out. Also, I guess I can dedicate this again to my sister, whose name is Becky. I dedicated the first movie review to her. So yeah, sis, that one's for you. And she is a Spitfire and sassy as hell, just like the main character of this movie. So also be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Drumdum out.